मेदिनि विश्वविनोदिनि नन्दिनुते गिरिवरविन्द्य शिरोदिनि वासिनि विष्णुविलासिनि जिष्णुनुते भगवति हेशिति कण्ठकुटुम्बिनि भूरि कुटुम्बिनि भूरि कृते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते सुरवरवर्षिणि दुर्धरदर्शिनि दुर्मुखमर्षिणि हर्षरते त्रिभुवनपोषिणि शङ्करतोषिणि किल्बिषमोषिणि घोषरते जनुजनि रोषिणि दितिश्रुतरोषिणि दुर्मथतोषिणि सिन्धुसुते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते जय जय हे महिषासुरमर्दिनि रम्यकपर्दिनि शैलसुते
Hi guys, thank you for joining the live stream again. This is my third live stream today. It's an insane day, insane happenings in Indian politics. So we have at least one person in the whole country, I guess, who predicted the West Bengal election outcomes correctly. And coincidentally, he is my childhood friend. Our parents were childhood friends, so I know him since the time of his birth. And hilariously enough, I had been not taking his views seriously, obviously, because I had no reason to. Everyone around me, I can't be blamed for not taking his views seriously at all. So he kept saying BJP will not get more than 8 to 12 for the last 3-4 months, and he said he had sources. I said, yeah, even I know people who are ably handling the, let's say, election, all data and stuff. Even all of them are not one single person in entire West Bengal, I think, or in the entire country predicted that BJP in Bengal will go below 22. That was the least number, and that's why I kept saying that, to be on the safe side. Even I was not insanely hopeful that I would go up till 30-35. I kept saying 22 because that's the least number I got, and he kept saying 8 to 12. So today we have 12 or 13 seats finally, I guess. So his name is Dr. Snehal, and I keep forgetting what the fuck is he a doctor of, because he changes his stream so many times. So what treatment are you doing now, doctor?
Hi, Nirajan. It's such a coincidence that we are, having a chat after such a long time face to face, and that too on such an important day. And who would have thought, at the beginning of this day that, the evening would bring such news for us, that you and I would have to be sitting in front of a stream and discussing my predictions, which I did, as you said to me when you were asking me for this podcast, that you are the only guy who stuck on with your figures like 8 to 12, 8 to 12, even when I was saying you 25, 26, 28, but you were like, no, it's going to be 8 to 12.
Yeah.
So yeah, currently I'm basically a pulmonologist by profession. So basically I treat disorders of the lungs, and I'm currently pursuing my senior residency. So yeah, that's for me.
Okay.
So let's get
and
to
your
the
friend.
discussion.
Yeah, your friend has a question to begin with.
Yeah, since
how do we
Kushan asked this question, Snehal, how would he predict the correct answer in NEET? He was also one of the guys with whom I was talking about this thing. And right, as you said that, maybe I am the only person who got this correct. No, that is not the correct thing. I personally have known at least 5-6 people with whom I regularly discuss politics, which happens to be one of my areas of interest. I have never, in the technical sense of the term, pursued cephalology as a science, but it is a science that interests me. I like to analyze. I prefer watching cephalology related stuff over football. Yeah, in that closed circuit of people who take it as a hobby of discussing elections and how the politics is running, we had predicted something like 8 to 12 based on our perception and our interactions with the people. So yeah, that you can say that I'm not the only one who saw it. Maybe some people were connected, were better connected to the reality that was in ground, at least in West Bengal. And today, this
Right.
stream, we are just going to talk about what is going on in West Bengal, rather what transpired in West Bengal and what are the reasons behind it.
Right. So first thing I asked you, we are basically going to replicate the conversation we had over our over the phone. So first is how who the fuck told you it's going to be 8 to 12? Were there people who told you, or was it just your roaming around the state also helped with your ground connection? Apparently, you had more ground connection than BJP's karyakartas. So how did you know?
I'm not a person who actually is involved in politics. I don't
Hmm.
do politics. I do in the sense
Hmm.
as in I am not a member of any political party.
Hmm.
But what I feel, this is again entirely my opinion,
Hmm.
is that a physician, especially in West Bengal, if they're serving in the government sector, these are similar profile jobs. For example, the police in some cases,
Right.
they have an access to a
Hmm.
public opinion. Rather,
Hmm.
they can form the image
Hmm.
of what the public in general might be thinking or might be
Hmm.
favoring, because these people are the people. I can speak for myself. I, as a doctor, I work in a government setup and I meet people. Rather,
Hmm.
I talk to people and I get to observe people who belong to the most marginalized and the vulnerable sections of society at their most vulnerable point.
Hmm.
So, what I can, and at that point, whatever requirements they have or whatever the ways in which they react, that gives me a fair bit of idea like what are their basic needs. Now, I will like to elucidate on this, like
Okay, internet gaya ki current gaya? This is hilarious. Let's see if he can come back from his phone. I think his power is gone. I think he can come back from his phone. I'll just let him know. Okay. হ্যাঁ তুই ফোন থেকেই চলে আসতে পারিস ঠিক আছে না তুই ডাইরেক্ট ফোন থেকেও করতে পারিস Okay, he's connecting his hotspot. Oh, let me check some comments now. Oh, what weird shit. Let's see, what was Saptarshi saying? What will be the cabal role now? Cabal will be obviously celebrating the end of, let's say, resistance to fascism, resistance really works, etc. Okay, yeah, he's back. Yeah,
yeah, just give me a second. I'll just connect my hotspot.
yeah, okay. Yeah.
Thanks to development, we have a lot of power cuts here in this part of the country.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, let's see. Shoptorshi is saying, so UP guys were saying this to me. BJP Neta was speaking same as SP, BSP, like Brahmin ko juta maro. What? Which is why many didn't vote. Is this true at all, Dada? No, I can't know at all because I don't live in UP, of course. Uh, Maybe these happened. Maybe these were exaggerated. Maybe they were also getting the caste equation right part for getting the ST
Yeah,
votes, SC
yeah.
votes.
So what I was saying is that I get to see
Hmm.
the people who
Hmm.
belong to the most vulnerable sections of society
Hmm.
and at their most vulnerable point. Mind you, this vulnerable
Hmm.
section of society is what has given this outstanding mandate to TMC today, at least in Bengal, right?
Okay.
So I used to notice this thing among the people in West Bengal or the people who used to come to the government hospital who belong to the most marginalized section is that
Hmm.
they are very heavily reliant on the freebies when it comes to
Hmm.
the medical treatment.
Hmm.
Like whenever they come, they are always asking, will the investigation for this particular, say, a CT scan or an ultrasound, will it be done in the government sector? They are
Hmm.
constantly asking if there is a big surgery, will it be done in Shasto Shati, which,
Hmm.
as you know, is a government policy for by that was brought in by the
Okay,
TMC
wait, I
government.
have to interrupt you. Can you join from your phone itself? Because the hotspot data is not, I think, transferring enough to the tab.
Is it good now? Is it good now? Is it audible?
With some breaks. You can directly join the StreamYard link from phone only. There won't be any problem. Unless you
Okay,
don't
just
want to
give me
keep
a
your
second.
phone engaged. That's a problem, of
No,
course.
actually, I don't want to keep my phone engaged right now. I think
Right,
that
right.
I
Okay.
just Okay, so I think it will gradually it will ease out because okay, I'll just
Okay.
switch off the hotspot.
Okay, he's going to restart his hotspot. Okay, let me check some comments. Deepan Das Gupta is saying TMC success reason is IPAC. IPAC was able to convert TMC propaganda into.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, go
So
ahead.
what I was saying is that so that initially gave me a very clear idea that freebies that Mamta was giving out, be it in the form of any of the Sris like Shasto Shati, cycle,
Konyasri, Jubosri, Cycle Sri.
Konasri, Jubosri, whatever, these Sris were going to give them a dividend because the people were enjoying it. Now you have to
Hmm.
understand in India, for that matter, it is always, and more so in Bengal, it is always quantity over quality that
Hmm.
matters.
Right.
It is quantity it is being given.
Hmm.
And that gave me a fair bit of suspicion that, a person who is coming to the hospital with his loved one who is on his deathbed, you know,
Right.
and it is not important that to the loved ones of that family member,
Right.
that the proper treatment is given. Rather,
Hmm.
proper treatment would be rather incorrect work. Like they are just asking which treatments will be given for free to them, right?
Hmm.
So you do realize that
Right.
dependence on the subsidized healthcare system or any form of government subsidies that the population in West Bengal was
Right.
happening, and they were also getting it. Now,
Hmm.
what is the quality of those subsidized services? That is a separate discussion that we can talk about it. But what I
Right.
can say is that they were heavily dependent on it and they were enjoying it.
Hmm.
That is the outcome that you saw in today's election.
Hmm.
That this vote that we got today, rather the mandate that we have with TMC getting close to 29 or
Hmm.
30 odd seats, which was
Hmm.
originally the target that was set by Amit Shah for the Bengal BJP. It is not a vote that is against BJP. It is a vote for Mamta. This is
True.
a election which has categorically proved after 2021, now it is 2024. This election, this mandate is a mandate for Mamta. This election is not a mandate against BJP. Across the
Right.
states in other parts of India, the mandate that the NDA has got, that is a mandate against BJP. But
Hmm.
this mandate in Bengal, it is a mandate
Right.
for Mamta. Right? You
Right.
have to get this thing correct right at the onset.
Right. Now, first question, of course, would be that why didn't other people figure this out? Why did only you figure this out? How?
Uh, See, Nirajan, if you have been, I know both of us follow a number of channels, especially YouTube channels, which have been discussing on the outcomes from where you got your inflated figures of 26, 28.
Yeah.
Uh, since the day the elections were declared, you would have noticed the discussion in these forums were largely being centered around the teacher scam, the
Right.
ration scam with people going into the jails.
I get you.
Later, it went into Sandesh Khali.
Right.
Then, towards the fag end of the election, it went into Ramakrishna Mission and Bharat Sevashram Sangh being
Hmm.
abused. And last thing that it went into was that the OBC has been cancelled.
Right.
Now, what you asked is why didn't anyone figure this out? The teacher scam verdict was going on for a long time. In fact,
Hmm.
Abhijit Ganguly, who has, I suppose, has won today from Tumlu,
Hmm.
or is probably leading in Tumlu,
Hmm.
he got into the limelight because of his verdicts, which have been upheld by the Honorable Supreme Court of India also.
Hmm.
So, as you said, why didn't anyone get it? Because in my understanding or in my perception, the vast majority which has elected today Mamta, that society or that percentage of the society includes people who have never had access to these jobs which require a component of merit for qualifying in their past generation,
Right.
neither because of socioeconomic, financial, whatever reasons we can say, neither do they have it now, and neither do they even hope
Right.
that their offsprings or their future generations will have,
Right.
because for them the day-to-day struggle is much difficult
Hmm.
to tide over than to think that my there is 26,000 teachers are jobs have been cancelled by the courts, of which 8,000 odd people have been said to be fake. In
Hmm.
fact, they don't even have that inkling or that thought process built inside them,
Hmm.
that if these 10,000 fake teachers, or if the education system is ruined in my state, my child's education, who actually go to those same government schools from where these
Hmm.
teachers have been identified as fake teachers, or they use unfair means to get their jobs,
Hmm.
they don't care that their kids future or the teacher teaching their kids is actually fake
Hmm.
and is not equipped enough to teach, or is not capable enough to teach, because they also think that given their socioeconomic condition and their financial condition, their children will also be ever eligible to get those
Right.
jobs ever. Hence,
Right.
education to that section of the society, it's like a luxury to them. It is a
Hmm.
means of getting a cycle
Right.
in for a free cycle, which they can sell
Right.
it off, or they can use, for which they don't need to pay. It is a
Right.
means of getting 25,000 rupees if your daughter is going till graduation or passing higher secondary. So you
Right.
do realize there is no importance of education in the vast majority of people who have voted Mamta to power, right?
Right.
Hence, this agenda, as we started, when I started speaking, I said
Hmm.
this agenda of a teacher scam, teacher recruitment scam, it didn't really resonate with the masses because they don't even
Right.
bother about it. And
Hmm.
obviously, they shouldn't be
Right.
bothered about it now, because if your daily earning is pretty low, where your, we say in Bengali, nunante panta purono, like
Hmm.
whatever you're earning, it goes in your daily sustenance. You
Right.
don't have the time for thinking about luxuries like education at the end of the day.
Hmm.
You will obviously be wanting more money to come to trickle down your pocket for the day, so that you can save a bit more for the next day. So that
Right.
is one reason, is that as you started this question, that why wasn't this predicted? All the issues are pretty elitist. Now, if you come to
Hmm.
something like Ramakrishna Mission and Bharat
Right.
Sevashram Sangh, Bharat Sevashram Sangh, first we will go there. Bharat Sevashram Sangh is an organization which, to the Bengali
Psyche.
memory or
Hmm.
psyche, as you say it, it is an organization that comes to the minds of people every time there is a cyclone striking us. We
Hmm.
have roughly 2 to 3 cyclones hitting us, and that is something. It is only during that point of time people, especially the people who care to see what is happening in the villages of Midnapur or South 24 Parganas, where the cyclones usually hit.
Hmm.
It is only they who know that what Bharat Sevasam Sangh does there, right?
Right.
People in Calcutta, where most cases cyclones, you can have max to max 2 or 3 trees falling down and powers being cut for 1 or 2 days. They really don't care what you do to Bharat Sebastian Sangh, right?
Hmm.
So, and then obviously Ramakrishna Mission is another organization which was famous, which has a very sacred place in the Bengali psyche because
Hmm.
of the things like Vivekananda and Ramakrishna. They have very sentimental spots, but
Hmm.
there again, that sentimental spot is limited to a very elitist set of people. Ramakrishna Mission may be having missions in various villages and parts of Bengal, but then the
Right.
point is, if you look at their genuine fan base, or their disciples base, I don't want to go into socioeconomic dissection of their fan base, because that would be incorrect, because I don't have data of it. But I
Hmm.
personally feel that this Ramakrishna Mission thing, abusing Ramakrishna Mission and stuff, they are pretty minor issues. They were pretty elitist in my understanding of things, because the people of Bengal, how many rickshaw pullers do you see going to Ramakrishna Mission? Answer me this.
Hmm. And even if their kids do go to Ramakrishna Mission, they are not going to let go of Lokir Bhandar just because you pissed off
No,
someone
no,
in the
no, no,
Ramakrishna
no,
Mission.
no, 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 no. They are not going to go there. They are not going to go there. If you live in, if you go to some
The,
place like Narendrapur or Belur, how many
hmm.
people, how many Toto drivers do you see who's going to Ramakrishna Mission? Right? How
Yeah.
many of the domestic helps who come to your
Hmm.
house? How many of the delivery boys who come to deliver stuff? Have you asked them, do you go to Ramakrishna Mission? Are you a disciple there? No. It is only the urban, educated, secured, financially secured, more or less financially secured class who have that sentiment, who understand what Vivekananda was to this country. because to understand Vivekananda, to understand Vedanta, you need a lot of reading. In fact, I also don't understand what Vedanta is. I have also been fed that Vivekananda did something great. If you want to ask me that what did he do, what was his main focus in the Chicago address that he gave in the World Congress of Religions, I am sure that I will not be able to give you much answers to that. And if you ask that to any Tom, Dick, and Harry on the streets of West Bengal, even in Calcutta, I'm not telling you about the periphery.
Yeah.
Even in Calcutta, if you ask, I don't think many people will be able to tell you that where did Vivekananda ever give his lecture upon, right?
Yeah.
So these were very elitist issues that were being peddled
True.
by the BJP, and the left was not even peddling anything, because the left was like hoping that
Left
some
was
miracle
peddling
would.
Hindu Fashivad.
No, Hindu Fascist, that is Hindu fascist regime. That is a narrative of the left. See,
Hmm.
it is like a fire will obviously burn you and ice will obviously cool you. Like in
Hmm.
the left talking about Hindu fascism is like that. It is their nature.
Hmm.
You cannot ask a party to walk out of its nature, right? That in that way they will lose all identity. In
Hmm.
going by that way, I think, and that is what exactly the BJP did. BJP tried to get out of its own identity. BJP was never a party which was elitist. You think like in Gujarat and Uttar Pradesh, they are this elitist a party? No, not at all. BJP
Hmm.
tried to, they chose the narrative very difficult, very incorrectly. The issues
Hmm.
they thought, in fact, everyone thought for that matter,
Right.
everyone.
Yeah.
Sadly, what we are seeing today, it is just telling us that all these issues like teacher scam, OBC cancellation, Ramakrishna Mission, Sandesh Kali, these are basically discussion topics in the that were just limited to libraries and evening tea parties and stuff. Other than that, it was not really the issue in the mind of the voter when they were voting, because, like I said, the vast majority don't even have access, or they don't even dream of having these jobs, and they have never had access to these jobs.
And in fact, the
Rather
OBC
today,
cancellation.
rather if these jobs that you said 26,000, rather I think, in my understanding, again I may be wrong, if today Group D jobs went away like this, like 60,000 or 70,000, like Group D jobs were sacrificed, that would have a bigger impact, because the vast
Hmm.
majority, like I said, the vast majority who have voted Mamta to power, they are least bothered about how education is going on in the schools or what will happen. They have
For
access,
the
they are not looking
just
for
just
jobs.
clarify what's Group D for the young kids in our comment section. Okay, most of my viewers are 18 to 20.
Yeah.
What's Group D? Group D jobs. Explain to them. Explain to my young viewers.
Group D jobs are basically jobs where there are four classes. I think A, B, C, and D. They are the jobs
Hmm.
which actually are in the lower pay brackets, which really I don't know what is the selection status now, but they are not jobs which require a higher intellectual acumen, because Group A, Group B, Group C, these are jobs where you actually have a competition of merit, where you have to prove yourself intellectually through entrance exams and stuff. Group
Right.
D also has entrance exams and stuff, but then
Hmm.
that is not in any comparison to Group A and Group B jobs, obviously. Right now,
Right.
because
Right.
of the unemployment issue is so much is wreaking so much havoc, even graduates are now applying for Group D jobs. That's a totally different issue. But what I'm
Right.
trying to say is that if the majority was to be affected by a scam, then it needed to be affected in the jobs they were looking for. People
Hmm.
who today are driving totos, rickshaws, or doing odd jobs in for 3,000 rupees, 5,000 rupees a month, they are the people who are looking for Group D jobs, right?
Right.
So if the jobs of the Group D's were cancelled like this because of irregularities in their in giving out those jobs, or those jobs are sold, that would have an impact. But selling out teacher jobs is, it's a very privileged section which have managed to give 20
Hmm.
lakhs, as they have said that 7 lakhs, 5.5 lakhs were given. You think the ordinary
Hmm.
person, ordinary maid who comes to your house, that person can give 5.5 lakhs or 7 lakhs for a job? That
Hmm.
is beyond their capabilities.
Right. Now, so what you're saying is that BJP, or the everyone who predicted the gigantic outcomes for BJP, basically could not fathom that exactly how poor West Bengal is. What's the gigantic number of poor people in West Bengal who don't even see education as a dream, pipe dream, even for their descendants, because that's the only reason they would have stuck on for Lokri Bandar, right? because
Maybe,
they
maybe,
also
maybe,
know.
maybe, and more so, I think the BJP, which is being very commonly said that, let's be very honest, this election has proved that the BJP has no organizational structure below. They have no organizational structure below. You can't win elections by, hijacking leaders from other parties and giving them tickets the next day. That has been proved beyond recognition. And when you don't have organization, you stay disconnected from the ground reality. That is what exactly has happened. And another thing is that BJP has been doing this mistake since 2021. You cannot uh, use the BJP's model of blitzkrieg that they use in other states, which is religious division, religious, telling that the minorities are going to slaughter you, the minorities are going to take you away, the minorities are rising up. That cannot be peddled in West Bengal. That has been proven. Even if the most staunchest BJP supporters don't want to believe this, that is their free will. But today's mandate and 2021's mandate has said that unanimously the Muslims as well as the Hindus have voted for Lokhir Banda, have voted for the socio-economic freebie policies. Now, whether
Hmm,
they are good for the state, whether they are good for the upcoming generations of Bengal,
hmm.
that is a different discussion,
Yeah,
intellectual discussion totally.
right,
But
right.
this is very true that the BJP got its entire campaign narrative in West Bengal incorrect. You
Hmm,
cannot peddle religion based politics in a state where the economy is so screwed up.
hmm,
You have to talk about economic policies.
hmm. But did BJP Bengal really focus that much on religion? Because they were mostly focusing on SSC job scam stuff and corruption, right? Shubhendu never really talks about Muslims.
Uh, maybe that is true. Again, it is a vicious cycle. If you don't
Hmm,
talk about religion, you're going to talk about recruitment scams.
that
That is
is true.
again going to be a elitist narrative, right?
Hmm,
So it is like a vicious cycle. And right now,
hmm,
what I was thinking, and I was having a discussion, is that with my fellow colleagues out here, is that honestly in Bengal, I don't know if this is some sentiment that I am just sharing, or many people in the opposition, especially in the BJP left and the common public, is
hmm,
sharing, is that the Bengal opposition doesn't know from where they will start the opposition for Mamata. They have no idea, because there is actually no area from where the opposition can actually be started.
hmm,
Because you tried religious lines, it backfired on you. You tried corruption, tracing out corruption, it backfired on you. You tried bringing a justice to your party and trying to win that backfired on you. So all measures to create an impression that we are a viable alternative have backfired on the BJP. So
hmm,
this is something even I think every political pundit will have to think about, especially if they're concerned about Bengal. Firstly, we have
hmm,
to be concerned about Bengal to think about Bengal.
hmm,
Even this is a mandate for Mamata, but in my understanding, it is a very useless mandate, because
hmm,
ultimately, as we can see that the BJP is forming the government is going to hopefully form the government
hmm,
in Delhi. And with these
hmm,
numbers, I don't see Bengal, central BJP even looking at Bengal BJP for anything. Forget about that. And India Alliance is not coming to power in any way because they don't have the numbers. They will be sitting in the opposition benches. And Mamata has been, walking in and out of the alliance. So as it is, her national figure was not a very reliable thing when it comes to alliance
yeah,
politics. Now it is even more questionable, because she was the one who was walking in and out of the alliance. Today she's saying she's in the alliance, tomorrow she's saying
yeah, yeah.
she's not in the alliance. So what does people of Bengal get by getting 31 MPs? This is
Hmm,
something only time will tell, that whether this mandate, other than giving electoral mileage to Mamta, is it actually giving anything back to the people of West Bengal? That is something that needs to be decided. Because let's be very honest, BJP are not saints, neither is anyone in power willing to be saint. Right? There
hmm,
will be fund crunches after this. The
hmm,
BJP was already, trying to stifle some funding. There was also a prediction from many sources that in Modi 3.0, they might be limiting the state's capacity for expenditure. So with this mandate, if the BJP finally forms a government, we might be seeing a lot of you know uh, arm twisting from the BJP when it comes to doling out funds for development for the state. That wouldn't that might not have been the case if the numbers were reversed. Like if BJP today at 31, we would have
Hmm.
seen much more benevolence on the part of the central government, which is again unfortunate because if you're in a democracy, you need to have a federal structure that needs to be respected in the constitution, where you need to give out funds that are deserved by the state.
Hmm.
So we don't know that what is this mandate going to bring for the people from West Bengal. One thing is clear, it's going to give Mamata Banerjee tremendous political mileage. 2026 is now a secured spot for her. There is no
Yeah.
question for that. There is virtually no opposition from now on.
Hmm.
So, other than the political mileage that the ruling party gets in West Bengal, I don't know what else the mandate is going to do to the people of West Bengal.
Is Trinamool in any condition to support India and support India and form help them from a government?
See, right. See, politics is a science of opportunities. It's an art of opportunities, right? Today, you
Hmm.
see, I was just seeing some news reports which are telling that the India Alliance has already asked Nitish Kumar to be the
Right.
deputy prime minister. So just
Hmm.
imagine the person when he went to sleep at last night. Just imagine Nitish Kumar. He went to sleep as a chief minister of Bengal of Bihar, and today he is being offered deputy prime minister. So these are basically a art of opportunities. So we
Hmm.
don't know whether the TMC government is going to be a part of the alliance, whether they are going to add to the alliance, whether they're going to support the BJP. But all I know is that, or rather, what we can say is that whoever the next prime minister is going to be it from the NDA, be it from the India, it's going to be a very tough time for the next PM because it will be difficult for him to stay in office for 5 years because this is the numbers are such that people like Chandrababu Naidu and this person Nitish Kumar, they can obviously, arm twisting the government from time to time that I want this, I want that, I want this, otherwise I'll drop your government. The chances of
Right.
a BJP government toppling are lesser, but than the India Alliance because India Alliance obviously has more number of allies, so it is there more people need to be satisfied.
Hmm.
So right now, I don't think the TMC will be required to pass the to me let the NDA come into power. Right now, it is not required, maybe. But yeah,
Hmm.
in the course of 5 years, the role of the TMC in the center will be important when it comes to passing important bills.
Hmm. Okay, I need to take one question from our viewer. M. Shastri is asking, Dada, what about Bangla Pakko? Will Mamata Banerjee run away with Bangla Pakko? What do you mean, run away where? Are you saying Bangla Pakko already supports Mamata, so there's no question there. As for what about Bangla Pakko now, well, they are going to be ecstatic now that the Agarwal Bania Bihari party of outsider gods has lost.
No,
They
no,
are
no, wait
very
a
happy,
minute.
of course.
This is one thing that I have been meaning to say to a lot of people.
Hmm.
This idea that Bangla Pokho is pro TMC
Hmm.
and that they are crusaders against the Marwaris and the Gujaratis.
Yeah.
And by assuming that the BJP, that the Marwaris and Gujaratis are pro BJP in Bengal,
Hmm.
sitting in West Bengal, is a very stupid idea. Because if the Marwaris and Gujaratis were pro BJP, then South Calcutta wouldn't be getting this much margin. Let's be
Yeah.
very honest about it. Then Asansol
Yeah.
wouldn't be getting this much margin. Then
Yeah, all of them are Trinamool supporters.
So basically, the Marwaris and Gujaratis have also voted for it. So
Yeah.
the Bangla Pokko's narrative that we are going to kick out Biharis because they are pro BJP supporters, that is stupid. Yeah, from a linguistic point of view, that they are
Yeah.
encroaching on the fabric of Bengal, they are taking away opportunities of the youth of Bengal. That may be a reality. But then
Hmm.
saying that the Gujaratis of Bengal or the Ye of Bengal were actually
Yeah.
supporting the BJP, that is actually ridiculous.
Yeah. And every time, every year during Chhat Puja, the Robina Sarovar lake is opened up for Biharis to drown whatever they want in that
again
beautiful
again the
lake.
freebies the freebies that are given, they are given to the
Hmm.
Gujaratis, Marwaris, Biharis, everyone, the Odia
Yeah.
people living in our state, everyone is getting it. So
Yeah.
that they have no reason by who is going to, you like, it is like saying you're staying in water and fighting with a crocodile, right? You're going to
Hmm.
stay in a TMC state and you know that there is no one to save your back, and you're going to like go against the ruling party with so many who can screw you up at any point of time. This is ridiculous,
Yeah.
actually.
Yeah. So I want to take this question of M. Shastri again. Will Mamta double down on Bangla Pak rhetoric? I don't think so. She needs to double down on anything now.
She
She
doesn't
has
need to
done
double down on
everything
anything.
right.
What will she double down on?
She's set for 2031.
Yeah, she doesn't need to double down on anything. In fact, she needs to just up her ante right now. Like, this was like a upper se sweep. In
Hmm.
2026, it's going to be total, jharu leke poch maar dena kind of sweep.
Yeah. Okay. Avinav is saying Asansol loss is surprising. It proves that the Hindi speakers are also voting for Trinamool. And
These biases have actually ruined the BJP in Bengal, for that matter. Like, saying that Hindi voters are going to vote for you because they speak Hindi. I mean, what nonsense is that? Then guys just say it. No, I am just going to fight elections in the Hindi belt. I am not going to fight in South.
hmm.
I am not going to
Yeah.
anywhere where Hindi is not the majority language. I am not going to fight that because Hindi voters are going to vote for it. This is ridiculous. A perception that the supporters of BJP and the people of Bengal have it. If
Yeah.
that was the
I
case,
think
then BJP wouldn't have won in Karnataka. They wouldn't have won in Telangana. They wouldn't have won in this place, Andhra Pradesh, or in
hmm.
Assam. No, nowhere is the Hindi is a majority language. You go to Karnataka, you get down in Bangalore, the average auto driver will speak to you in Kannadiga. They will not speak in English. But still,
Hmm.
BJP has got numbers there. So this
Yeah.
is a very stupid presumption that if you are speaking Hindi, you are a pro BJP supporter. No.
Hmm. So so basically BJP got fed a lot of bullshit data. A lot of fake data got fed to them. Data scientists also screwed this up because they obviously gave them these points that if you spot a Bihari, he's probably a Rambak and probably likes you. Probably will vote for Shubhendu. I think
Yeah, like there's a very famous saying that "Khali pete dharma hai na." Like
yeah, Chanakya said so himself.
to
Sukha
translate that,
Simulam dharma, dharmasya mulam artha.
you cannot pursue religion or practice religion in an empty belly. Even
Right.
Vivekananda said this.
Yeah.
I'm very amazed that the Prime Minister of India, who swears by Vivekananda so much, who is so much affiliated to the Ramakrishna Mission, forgot one of the key teachings of Vivekananda, where he said that I don't believe in a God or a religion which cannot bring a piece of bread to the orphan's mouth, nor can wipe the tears away
Yeah.
from the
But
mother's eyes.
now here the BJP supporter would say that that's why he was giving out so many freebies already. No, free ghar, pani, bijli, sadak, everything was he was getting free ration, free toilet,
Again,
ladli
but then,
behna,
huh?
ladli behna yojana of Madhya Pradesh. All that was done because dharm nahi hota hai without
धर्म
money.
नहीं होता है, but the point is that धर्म नहीं होता है, that is a separate argument, whether that was trickling down, whether those the central projects were coming down, or whether Mamta was peddling that out. One thing is
Hmm.
for sure, Bengal में the projects of center were not publicized, or even if they came in, they were lesser than what Mamta was giving.
Hmm.
Now, how it became less, whether Mamta stopped those things from reaching the people who are at the bottommost rung of
Yeah.
society, that is a
Hmm.
separate discussion. But one thing is for sure, number of freebies, amount of freebies, greater on the side of TMC than BJP. Hence, they got the
Right.
vote.
Right. Yeah, because I know in Motua refugee camps even today they have not got PM Awas Yojana. Someone has prevented it, or someone has deliberately not sent them these yojnas.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And also another thing, the CAA thing. Do you see any of the leading BJP ministers applying for CAA? No. You have to lead by example. If
But
your BJP, like Shantanu Thakur has one from Bonga, do you see any of the? I don't know if you have data. You can obviously share it with me. Any of the Bonga Mondal presidents, district presidents, if they are Mutuas, I'm assuming at least one or two Mutuas will be there who have issues
hmm,
with their citizenship. Has
hmm.
any one of them applied in CA?
The CA thing happened pretty quietly. I think it was they were thinking it's a masterstroke that they are going to do it under the rug so that no gigantic ruckus again happens. So I think that I guess also backfired,
That
keeping it
didn't
under the rug.
backfire because again, what I'm telling you, CA is something they thought that would deliver to them. It didn't, because again, citizenship, like saying someone the overnight your citizenship will vanish away, or overnight I will give you citizenship. This didn't resound much with the people of West Bengal. This didn't resound. Like they are like, "Kya bolta hai? Ki overnight you will make me a citizen. Overnight you will kick me out. How
Hmm.
is it possible?" And also, if the BJP really wants to say that CA is not going to take away the citizenship of anyone, I think the first people who belong to that minority of people who don't have citizenship rights in this country, or rather whose citizenship rights are questionable in this country, they must first apply there. If you have to lead by example. If you are not going to lead by example, don't expect to gain any political mileage out of schemes like CA.
Hmm. Right. And do you think there's any need to speculate whether, uh, let's say, EVM tampering, some shenanigans, some fishy
Yes.
stuff here and there?
No, no, no.
Okay.
Let's not
And
let's not insult the electorate. I think uh,
hmm,
this is a apart from the fact that BJP is going to form a government. BJP has been given a drubbing in their own game,
yeah.
which we thought it was their own game, as the most exit polls and opinion polls has predicted. I think
Hmm,
the bigger message, and also we must congratulate this. This is if you are talking of a healthy democracy, is that the regional parties, they have
hmm,
performed exceptionally well. By
hmm,
talking about the regional parties, I'm talking about the dedicated members of the India Alliance. I'm not talking about Mamata Banerjee. Mamata Banerjee separately has performed obviously well, but then
hmm,
that is not going to have any significance in the India Alliance. The
hmm,
dedicated members of the regional satraps, they have
hmm,
performed exceptionally well, and many people will again not agree with me on this. I think somewhere today, after today's mandate, once again, even the Congress doubling its tally from their last Lok Sabha, it is going to raise questions on the use of Congress. What is the use of Congress uh, in this entire political landscape of West of India? Because
hmm.
earlier, when the exit poll with the exit poll mandate, we were just saying that India is gradually moving into a bipolar
Yeah.
or two-party system.
Yeah.
Even
Yeah.
Sharad Pawar had once said that the parties which were formed
Vileen ho
from the
jaye
Congress,
Congress mein.
they should come back and merge with the Congress.
Yeah.
Today's mandate has showed that two-party system is not coming to India. Multi-party democracy is here to stay. Now, whether that is good for the government or not, that is a separate
Yeah.
discussion.
Yeah.
But then it really puts into question what the Congress's use is in today's politics.
Yeah. Yeah. So socialism, freebies are here to stay. Caste equations are here to stay, and
Not
50
in Bengal.
parties.
In Bengal, there is no caste equation. You cannot use
Yes.
caste equation.
Yeah. Only in
Yeah,
Bengal
like
there's
I
no
said,
caste
caste
equation.
equations are here to stay in Bihar, Uttar Pradesh, or the so-called
Yeah.
cow belt that they say.
No, even
But
South
in
India.
Bengal, yeah, right. If you look at Karnataka and Andhra and all these places, definitely caste equations are here to stay,
Yeah.
and but not in Bengal. I don't
Yeah.
understand. Like today, I think every poll pundit should look at Bengal and think that is Bengal out of the national picture?
Yeah.
Because I personally feel India, like for the next 5 years, Bengal is out of the national picture. You take any side,
Right.
be it the India Alliance or the NDA Alliance, Bengal is going to be the least talked state in the
Right.
entire country because the
Absolutely.
BJP has no interest in Bengal. The
Right.
India Alliance, even it is useless
Hmm.
because Mamta is not a reliable partner. Given the number of scams that are being investigated by the central government under the supervision of the courts, two or three summons and Mamta might pull out and give support to the other
Right.
side, right? Which they
Right.
have done in the past.
Right.
So it really, Bengal today comes as a very isolated area in the
Right.
entire map of India, which is
Right.
sad because you see, I believe that if a state is outside of the national narrative or the national picture, it is not good for them because in
Yeah.
that case you forget to compare yourself, in which is exactly the reason why today people in Bengal have so much unemployment in their issues. They are focused on freebies and not
Right.
what their future generations will be doing. Their
Hmm.
focus has been shifted because be it during the left front regime, be it during the TMC regime, for a long time, the political discussion in the political forums of Bengal was outside the national picture. They were never a part of the national picture. If you see from the long context of things,
Hmm.
it was only
Right.
in 2014 and 2019 when the BJP was coming into power, people were thinking, yeah, if Bihar can move ahead, if Assam can move ahead, why can't we move ahead? If
Right.
Odisha can move ahead, why can't we move ahead? But
Hmm.
with this mandate, it is very clear that you can't move ahead. Now, many people will say, so are you trying to say that if BJP comes to power, then only can the states move ahead?
Hmm.
Uh, I'm sorry to say, but with this, there are when you live in a democracy with a federal structure, you need the central government and its goodwill would be a bad word. Maybe having a good
Rapport.
camaraderie with the rapport or
Yeah.
camaraderie with the central government, at least in some areas for your progress,
Right.
right? Case in point, BJD. BJD has run in Odisha. I think Mr. Navin Patnaik was
Yeah.
chief
Yeah.
minister for 25 years.
Hmm.
BJP Odisha has done so much progress under him. It is sad that he has been booted out. Obviously, anti-incumbency has played a factor there.
Hmm.
But you see, Odisha is such a thriving state that they sponsor the Indian hockey team, both male
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
female,
Yeah.
single-handedly. Can Bengal say that we can do that today or in 5 years or in 10 years? No, we cannot
Hmm.
do that. But because BJD, despite being a party which has never allowed the Congress or the BJP, even during their peak times, to come into their
Yeah.
state,
Hmm.
they have not isolated themselves from the national picture or the national narrative.
Right.
But in Bengal, our leadership's political, hunger for power and hatred for the opposition, uh, you know, it I think in some way it has isolated us from the greater national narrative. We had an opportunity when Buddhadev Bhattacharya was our chief minister. I think that was the last great opportunity Bengal ever had. Beyond that, it has always been we find just two forces cajoling and the uh, people in between getting squashed.
Don't you see the standard Bengali arrogance or high-handedness in this case, that we are Bengalis, we are better than everyone, and therefore our state does not need the help of center. In fact, if we meet the central leadership, we in fact we can teach them everything from Nobel
No,
to from
no, no,
economics
no,
to
no,
music,
no,
everything.
no, 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 no.
Why else
There is
has
nothing.
every state government had a bad
There is
relationship? And
there
still
is
today,
there is
wait. Today, every CPM supporter says the only reason CPM could not do anything because Congress was not cooperating. Trinamool has the same complaint. Why couldn't you go and cooperate? No one else had that problem. No other state
let's
had
not
that
talk
problem.
about the CPI. The CPIM's biggest fault in this election was that CPIM wants to come into power holding someone's hands.
Yeah.
That is the main problem.
Yeah.
Even
So
if
I'm
the
saying that except West Bengal, no other state had this problem that year, decade after decade, decade after decade, they complain that the center is not cooperating with us. Only that's why we can't develop. Otherwise, we would have made this fucking Singapore.
that I think as is it's like it's more of a culture problem now. Let's be very
Exactly.
honest. Since 34 years of left regime,
Right.
we Bengalis have a fancy. I wouldn't call it high-handedness or arrogance, but
Okay.
हम लोगों का जहन में ये ठूस दिया गया है कि we are good opposition leaders. It is something like what the CPM has been saying in slogans. No, লড়াই চাই লড়াই করে বাঁচতে চাই. That is
লড়াই
the
চলতে থাকে
we are people who
সংগ্রাম
enjoy struggling, who enjoy being on the opposition benches rather than on the treasury benches.
because you
Abhi,
don't have accountability.
exactly, because when the CPM was in power, they were shouting against the center, whether it was Congress, BJP, whoever.
Right.
Because to be on the opposition benches, you don't need to perform, you don't need to have any accountability.
Right.
Similar is the case with Mamta. When
Yeah.
and basically, so what CPM was doing outside, Mamta was doing to the same thing to CPM in the state, right?
Yeah.
So they were just shouting. Mamta was also shouting.
Yeah.
Now, when you have come back to power, obviously this thing is going to wide back. No, if your system for the last 30, 40 odd years has become like, I am going to be a political force which is going to just shout without having any accountability, then it is obviously going to be
Hmm.
problematic.
You know, is there any fucking way that a miracle happens and Mamta Banerjee actually realizes how development and capitalism and economics runs, and she starts doing development in West Bengal,
You
and she
think
takes law and order
no, no,
seriously?
wait a minute. You think she doesn't know how development works after being the
Yes,
chief
she
minister
thinks
of the Uttar Pradesh?
freebies work. Yeah, she thinks freebies work.
No, no. She knows it very well that a state, if it has to progress, it has to have industries, it has
Right.
to have investment,
Yeah.
right? But then she also has this compunction that she needs to stay in power, for which she needs to dole out freebies.
Hmm.
She also, to be in power, since she is a party, she has been a political force whose identity has been built on absolutely virgin hardcore anti CPM stance right from the first day.
Yeah. Yeah.
That is her only agenda for which
Hmm.
she came into power. She
Yeah.
didn't have any clear political ideas or planning. Now,
Yeah.
when the CPM is out of power, she doesn't know
Hmm.
what to do.
Yeah.
She doesn't know what to do. Hence,
Yeah.
now she requires advisors who are
Yeah.
telling her that, you need to bring investments into the state. So, if you are
Yeah.
going to say that Mamta Banerjee doesn't know
Hmm.
that what is required to get investments, get the state running, get the state back on its legs and
Hmm.
running, you're mistaken. She knows it, but then the point is, she
No,
has
but she
political
knows
compound,
that she knows that she has to handle law and order correctly.
and she has compunction. And another thing is that
No, what's stopping
if
her
you
from
if
handling
you
law and order?
no, no, law and order, obviously she has to handle. Law and order is a very normal thing. She's a chief minister. She has to handle law and order in the state. Now the point is, if you see, if you look at governments
Yeah.
like those that are in Tamil Nadu, or if you
Hmm.
look, say, in Kerala,
Yeah.
this is a very interesting thing that is said in psephological studies, is that
Hmm.
governments who deliver more, right,
Hmm.
who deliver more on socioeconomic promises, who meet the socio-demographic indicators as is recommended,
Right.
they get ousted from power very easily. So I
Yeah.
was thinking, why is it so? Because if you look at Kerala, every 5 years they say it's a change. Why? Because the moment you start performing, the people's expectation starts rising. So the
Because the
next
baseline
time when you,
expectation has changed.
so the next time when you don't perform, they vote a different party to power.
Right.
But in Bengal, what happens is that hence Mamata doesn't perform. She's
Hmm.
giving out freebies because she is not raising the baseline expectations of the people. You understand?
Yeah.
If today a person who is working as a, say, a toto driver in some part of Bengal, say Bardhaman, and tomorrow
Hmm.
there is a factory where he is asked to work in the assembly line just for hammering nuts and bolts, and he gets paid 15,000 rupees a month, where he was earning, say, 10,000 rupees per month by driving a toto, that too after toiling day in and day out at 43 centigrade.
Hmm.
Next year in the elections, he will be saying that, no, I want my income to raise to 25,000 rupees a month. That will require better environment for bringing in investors. So you see, the benchmark will constantly stand. So that is what, when people say that, for a democracy, when people say that every 5 years the government changing its powers is very important, that is what people say, because when governments start to perform repeatedly well, no, so naturally the expectations of the population changes from time to time. Hence,
Hmm.
if a government is staying too long in power in one place, either there is one way, is that, either they're performing too freaking well, or they're not at all performing.
Hmm.
In the case of Bengal, given from all statistics, I feel that the government is not actually performing, and it's a deliberate thing.
Yeah.
And now, given this
Hey,
year's man
can you hold
this
the camera with your hands?
Given
Yeah.
this time's mandate, I don't think Mamata even needs to work on economic reforms, because without economic policies, she has got so much. With economic policies, she runs the risk of getting ousted from power.
Right. So, do you think there's any possibility of this was my view. I don't think I've moved away too much from it. That after all, there's a lot of illegal immigration, and Muslims have ousted Hindus in terms of population, and therefore they are voting for Trinamool, which is why Srijan even doesn't win. BJP was kind of expected to be third in Jadavpur constituency. Even BJP is getting to second place because the whatever Hindu vote there is, it is consolidating in favor of Hindutva, and everyone else are just Muslims who are voting for Trinamool.
I think that would be too early to say that there has been a religious consolidation. Rather
Hmm.
than in Bengal, the situation, like I said, in Bengal, the votes that BJP have got are not pro BJP votes; they are anti TMC votes basically. So anti
Right.
TMC votes, you cannot single out
Hmm.
a single cause that
Right.
just appeasement of Muslims is the reasons that people have voted for the BJP. There are multiple issues. So
Hmm.
simplifying that as saying that just the anti-Muslim narrative has given some numbers to the BJP is saying, I think it's an oversimplification.
Hmm.
You cannot say like that.
Hmm.
There is more to it. There are too many things that have happened. There are too
Yeah.
many reasons to vote the TMC out of power for people who have voted against TMC. So
Hmm.
simply saying that religious polarization or religious reasons have been the cause
Yeah.
for the votes that BJP have got, or there is a block formation as far as the votes are concerned. I think that would be a too
Hmm.
simple way of assessing the results today.
Hmm. Okay. And
One thing
what
is
do you
for
think
sure
of?
that
Yeah. Go on.
the votes or the seats that BJP have got, they are not pro BJP votes. They are not
Hmm.
people who have loved the BJP and given the vote. They are votes
Okay.
where that is a reflection of the anti TMC vote. Now that is
Okay.
entirely again my perception.
Hmm. Okay. Someone is saying that I think the washing machine allegations against BJP have caused them very much. Do you think people have taken that thing seriously, or
Oh,
do they
definitely,
just not care? Okay.
definitely. I said it at the beginning only. You
Hmm.
cannot expect to bring corrupted people from the other side and say and expect the people to vote for them.
Hmm.
Like you were once saying, no, this is a very common saying that is going on, that is doing the rounds on social media. That has Lokir Bhanda delivered?
Hmm.
Does that mean that Lokir Bhanda, people who got the 500 rupees, 1,000 rupees cash per month, or 1,200 rupees in the case of the reserved sections,
Hmm.
uh, has that given the dividend? I don't think that is the case, because
Hmm.
there is anger in when a government is in power for 10, 15 years.
Hmm.
There is certain amount of anti-incumbency. So this has again become like a question of choosing the lesser evil. Like to
Yeah.
say what is the lesser evil, I might draw like to draw an analogy is that maybe in your locality you
Hmm.
have a TMC leader who
Hmm.
actually is very rough and tough.
Hmm.
Who, well, like for example, if you take Sandesh Kali for that matter,
Hmm.
you know, everyone was very angry with this person, Sheikh
Yeah.
Shahjahan, right?
Hmm.
But still, you see, Sandesh Kali Rekha Patra lost.
Yeah.
TMC,
Because
BJP,
Sandesh Khali is a small place in a gigantic Boshirat community,
TMC,
constituency.
TMC won. Okay, let's not take Sandesh Kali. You obviously, let's take some places. You may obviously say that Sandesh Kali falls in Boshirat. I accept that.
Hmm.
Some
Hmm.
places, what I'm trying to say that, say for example, in every locality, you might have a TMC ka leader who is
Right.
like a gunda, who is like, but then that person may be a gunda that might be
Hmm.
the scaring, shouting you and threatening you from
Hmm.
time to time. I will not let you do this. I will not let you do
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But he is also the same person who brings you that 500,000 rupees per month. So people are like,
500
okay,
rupees. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
500,000 rupees per month. So people are like choosing the lesser evil. Like at least let I'm getting 1,000 rupees. Whatever he's shouting, okay, I'll listen to him 2 or 3 days. I'll have no
True.
problems. So
Right.
that is what is going on. So uh, talking about real life issue, saying that Muslim consolidation, Hindu consolidation, these are actually
Hmm.
useless terms, at least in Bengal.
Okay. Let's just check what Narendra Modi is saying. If you have some more time, we'll just check out what's the vibe of this speech he's giving. Okay. What's his point? Let's see.
एसटी ओबीसी की है। हम तब तक नहीं रुकेंगे जब तक गरीबी देश के अतीत का हिस्सा न हो जाए। वुमेन लेड डेवलपमेंट
One thing,
हमारी
Nirajan,
सरकार के
which
गवर्नेंस
Yeah.
मॉडल
surprised
की।
me a lot
Yeah.
was that Ayodhya, huh?
Ayodhya.
Reminds me of Rabindranath Tagore's famous line, like "Devota nai ghore." Remember that line from a poem that we used to get taught in class 10.
Yeah. Yeah.
So চক্ষু
Now,
মেলিয়া দেখ দেবতা নাই ঘরে.
yeah. So now, what do you think is next for Bengal, and what do you think? If you have any advice for the BJP karyakartas on the ground, because now you are the guy who has predicted. So, what would be your
Now,
suggestion to them next time
now,
around?
if I am
And
to,
what do you think
no,
is going to be the future of Bengal in the next 2 years? And how much post-poll violence do
I
you
am
anticipate to
not.
get?
See, first of all, I am no one to give advice to the BJP because I think there are people who are much more qualified than me within their ranks and files to think about it. If you
Hmm.
want to, if they wanted to take any advice right now, is that one, they should rest. It's been a very long and very tough election campaign where they have their brains are probably fatigued. If they take any
Right.
more stress, some of them might even collapse. And
Right.
second is, please stand beside the people who were there for you at the counting booths. I know you
Hmm.
cannot do much when you get beaten up by a set of people, but at
Yeah.
least the big leaders, the major pillars in the state BJP or whatever the opposition, not just for BJP, I think for any party of opposition, be it the Congress or the left, because every opposition is decimated here.
Hmm.
So what they can do is that the best advice is that at least give them some support, at least stand by them, at least bring them out of the police station, or at least try, at least you know, how do I put it? At least try to act that you're trying to save them, even if you can't.
And
So
what do you think is going to happen to them in the next 2 days? And what's the future of Bengal in the next 2 months, two
next
years,
two
and
days or next
5 years?
2 years, next two
Both,
days
all
or next
three,
2 years.
all three. 2 days, 2 months, and 5 years.
Um, next 2 days, I don't know what will happen to them. Honestly, a lot of them will be away from the villages because the political battle has been so bitter, so bitter in the state. There is like no place for, but I would expect that the TMC shows some restraint because with such victory, there is some grace. I know this is laughable, but yeah,
Restraint.
I'm just hoping to spread some sense or spread some word of peace, just like because I have some extra energy in my body right now.
Yeah.
And apart from that, and in the
And
2 days, what I can say what will
yeah.
happen to me in the 2 days is that
Hmm.
I will get a lot of patients who will be coming with bruised hands, broken limbs, or whatever problems
Right.
because that we have seen in the past. Any election, there is
Right.
a lot of commotion and violence in West Bengal.
Right.
And if you are talking from a political point of view, I don't see what the BJP is going to do.
Hmm.
Absolutely, if you ask me what the BJP has to do, or forget the BJP, what the opposition, BJP left Congress in West
Hmm.
Bengal have to do, I really don't. I don't have an answer to that. I
Okay.
really don't know from where they will start, how they will start, with whom they will start, why they
Hmm.
will start.
You
This
made a
question,
very interesting point, which of course I would like to disagree with, because I'm an economically a conservative right winger. But that jealousy aspect, what you were pointing out, is that everyone who comes to power in Bengal comes by convincing people that you have someone to be jealous of.
That is one thing. Yeah, that is the only hope that we were having this conversation. That is the only hope. Because if you
Hmm.
see, when Mamata Banerjee came to power in 2011, she peddled this narrative very nicely that, the stalwarts of CPIM, Buddha Bhattacharya, Viman Bose, and these people, they are actually white collared people. They live in AC rooms and they use, smart fountain pens, posh fountain pens,
They
and
watch foreign movies, foreign music, foreign
they
drama.
rise up the people of Bengal. They are not bothered about the people living in the Choparpattis and the villages, which
Hmm.
was in a way true actually. The
Hmm.
CPM had lost connect with the masses down below.
Yeah.
So, but then this narrative comes pregnant with an
Hmm.
idea that you are trying to, tickle that sense of jealousy that people have when they see someone within their society being economically more affluent, being financially more
Yeah.
established, being socially more established. So
Yeah.
Mamata Banerjee very nicely tickled that sentiment
Hmm.
among the masses
Hmm.
to bump into power, right?
Yeah.
So if the BJP in Bengal, I don't know, if they wish to come into power, the only hope they have is to talk about Abhishek Banerjee's shirts and Gucci shoes that he wears. Other
Hmm.
than that, you cannot talk on Mamata Banerjee because she lives a very simple life, at least in the public eye.
Hmm. Right.
So
Uh,
you have to strike jealousy. If you can do that, then only. But then
yeah.
again, people in Bengal have clearly chosen the lesser evil. You cannot, if people again choose 1,000 rupees over the jealousy tickling that you're trying to do, that's not going to work for them.
Right. And so this will be the last question for today. What's the future of West Bengal now?
Very difficult to say. Very difficult to say.
When
Very,
are we
very
becoming a $1 trillion economy like UP?
$1 trillion economy. Uh,
Yeah.
Modi 3.0 is going to be difficult. It's going to be difficult for Modi. Whatever big claims that he made that I will bring India as the third largest economy in the world and all this stuff. If he realizes it, well and good. But then it's going to be very, very difficult. It's going to be very difficult. Like one of the reforms that I was low key very hoping because it pinches my pocket a lot is they were thinking of bringing petroleum under GST, which would have reduced the cost of petroleum to like 60 rupees or so, as people say. But with people like TDP's Chandrababu Naidu, who is going to be the chief minister, and this person, Nitish Kumar, who is also chief minister of Bihar, we don't see that thing happening because the people who would be taking the biggest hit if GST comes under, if petroleum products come under GST, would be the states,
Hmm.
and they shouldn't be, and they will not be very welcoming. So it will be
Hmm.
very difficult for Modi to go ahead with it.
Yeah.
Obviously, in Modi 3.0, we can be seeing very, very populist measures coming up, very populist measures coming up. Uh, I don't know what those populist measures will be, but definitely they will be populist measures which will be coming up. And the free hand that Modi was having in every other matter, whether it was good or bad for the economy, we can have discussions on that. People on the left will say it are bad, right will say that one-sided or high-handedness won't be there. That is good for a democracy, but whether
Uh,
it is good for the supporters or not, that is something to be decided. That is something to be decided. Like
yeah.
for example, but one thing I think I was having something discussion that uh, across social media, UCC was the next big move that the BJP was planning to bring.
Judicial
So I was
reform and UCC.
UCC, but I have a feeling I may be wrong.
Hmm.
UCC may be applied in India. UCC may be passed because UCC is a populist measure. UCC may be passed because even the opposition will be giving a lot of data and reasons why the UCC shouldn't be brought into place. But I have
Yeah.
a feeling that UCC is one of the measures that will be passed in this year.
Hmm. Okay. I disagree here. I think absolutely
You
not.
think
And
the UCC won't be passed?
yeah, because opposition is not going to leave any stone unturned to oppose the government, and they are going to say fuck the country, and we are going to oppose anything you do.
That only time can tell. That only time can tell.
Yeah. And okay, what Meera Tripathi is saying on the screen here, that has been a common view in all our discussions today, that shouldn't Modi actually sit this one out and oppose the government, let these dumb fucks implode themselves in the government, and then they can come rejoice with a thumping victory 2 years later, like the
No,
stuff that used to happen in the 90s and late 80s.
no, no,
50
no,
people
no,
form
no,
a
no,
government, fall after 6 months.
no, 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 no. You cannot do that. It would be cataclysmic, right?
Yeah.
Because uh, if you do that, as the prime minister has said that during his many interviews, that
Hmm.
before this election started, he had set a 100-day plan for his
Hmm.
officials back
Yeah.
in the PMO, and that
Yeah.
work is going on, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
Whether it's true or not, I don't know, but what he has said, I'm quoting that work is
Yeah.
going on.
Right.
If what you're suggesting that Modi sits in the opposition benches and allows this person to come into power, which is actually constitutionally not possible, because tomorrow the president is going to call the single largest party to form the government and give a float test on the house. So
Yeah.
obviously the invitation is going to go to the BJP with 244 seats, not the Congress with 99 seats.
Yeah.
So firstly, it is a constitutional improbability. So
Hmm.
even if we are going to have this discussion for a theoretical purpose, I don't think
Hmm.
that is a very wise move,
Hmm.
because that 100 days work which is already in motion,
Hmm.
if Modi sits out, that will be stopped.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And that will be stopped, and that is a big loss of human resource and human work, because for
True.
100 days you have the bureaucracy working on some projects, and just because you step down and allow some people to fool around in the government, just so that you can come back 2 years later, you don't get such
Yeah. Yeah.
opportunities. It is
Right.
a waste of human resources.
Hmm.
And from a person who is like Mr. Modi, who always says that work is of to be valued, work is of paramount importance, I don't think he will be supportive of that idea that I will, just for being in power or make a fool out of the opposition. Let's be very honest, even if they don't have 272, they are the single largest party. NDA is still 300, 294, 293,
Yeah.
300, whatever it is. They
Yeah.
still have the confidence. Let's be very honest. So there is no
Yeah.
question of Modi sitting it out. Firstly, it is a constitutional improbability. And second of all, there is no reason for it. It is actually very vague.
Hmm. Is there any way? I know I actually disagree with this myself, but I'm asking you: is there any possibility that Modi actually tries to ram down the throats of the opposition, the things he was going to do anyway, and says that okay, we are probably losing the next election anyway, so fuck this, I'll do whatever I want.
In the last 2 years of 20 Modi 3.0, definitely we can get to see that. In the last two
Okay,
years, not initially.
I see.
If this government survives 3 years,
Right.
in the last 2 years, Modi might get very, very aggressive.
Right.
Because let's be very honest, the opposition from today, from this moment as we speak, will and has started preparing for 2029.
Yeah.
That is a very common fact. With this mandate,
Yeah.
they are Rahul Gandhi, even if you don't want to accept it,
Yeah.
Rahul Gandhi is PM in waiting.
Yeah.
In a constitutional democracy, Rahul Gandhi is going to be the leader of the opposition, and he is going to be the PM in waiting. So they are going to start preparations. They are
Yeah.
going to start their preparations even more aggressively,
Yeah. Yeah.
because the BJP doesn't know of a successor yet.
Yeah.
With this election, the idea that was being uh, discussed in some circles of the BJP and in some corporate circles, that the Yogi Adityanath may be placed as the successor of Modi, that
Or
has been
Himanta.
completely decimated. That has been completely decimated. The only way that Yogi could actually come back to have any significance is that if he wins UP next year, which again is a big question mark given today's
26.
numbers.
2 years later.
Yeah, 26, right.
Hmm.
UP and Bengal have their polls in the same
Yeah.
years.
Yeah.
So, like 2029 is something the opposition has a upper hand right from now. Let's be very honest about it. The
Yeah. And they are
BJP is
going to
in
get even more
the
funding from
BJP
foreign people as well.
the BJP is in the back foot right from today. They may
Hmm.
form the government, but they are in the back
Yeah.
foot, because 2029 Modi magic, peddling Modi as your leader, won't work.
Yeah.
Won't work. Even like if you ask me again, people in your stream will say I'm being very pessimistic. Even if you ask me, by conservative estimates, BJP in 2029 doesn't have any reason to come back until and unless they bring up something new in the coming 3, 4, 5 years, which is again going to be very difficult given this year's mandate.
Yeah, and
Because,
Modi is not going to contest the 2029 elections anyway, so there's going to be no question of Modi magic anyway. At
right,
best, he can bless someone.
so for the BJP, the challenge is this is the last term of Modi. They have to
Right.
find a successor,
Right.
and they have to find a successor among so many people who think they can replace Modi, and that successor needs to be acceptable by everyone.
Hmm.
So the worries for the BJP from today are very, very high. Even if Modi won, the worries would be high. But today, their worries are much, much higher
yeah,
because they don't know what is waiting for them in the next 3, 4, 5 years. Earlier,
yeah.
BJP 2014, 2019, they had clear mandate. They knew इस साल में ये करना है, इस साल में ये करना है, इस साल में ये करना है, इस साल में ये करना है. For 5 years, they had
Right.
that planned out.
Yeah,
Now they don't know. Now even the
yeah,
next 10 days, they don't know what they are going to do.
yeah,
Right? So 2029, I this election or this feeling that is going to get condensed today with the BJP government, this will ultimately blast out in 2029. And it
yeah.
is really tough times for the BJP in 2029. Really, even if Modi had won this, because they don't have a successor. Let's be very honest. The same crisis which the left faced in 2011, that they faced a leadership crisis, BJP is facing that same leadership crisis.
Why won't you take Himanta and Yogi seriously? They are legitimate
Huh?
successors. They are running their states really high up, and for so many years, they will
But you see,
win the next time.
Yogi's acceptability in the elections has been ruined. Until and unless he can spin Uttar Pradesh again in that
Yeah,
numbers which he got last in 2021, then other than that, Yogi is not coming back. And also another thing, why this is
very true.
something I forgot to tell you,
Hmm.
that if any lesson the BJP is to take from this election is that upping your religious ante further, being more rabid and being more open about rabid Hinduism is going to cost them, because this is
It
the
has
year
peaked, I
when
think. They have
it has
plateaued. Yeah,
it has plateaued. You cannot be
right,
more rabid than this,
right,
because
right.
if you are more rabid than this, then even BJP supporters like you or me or the many people who are not wearing the saffron, they will say that we have become Pakistan. It has plateaued now. So
Hmm.
Yogi has nothing to offer. Like, here, I think he has a lot to offer. I'm no one to say because I haven't read
Hmm.
into the statistics that of Yogi's performance. But
Hmm.
one thing is clear, that he is a vigilante and he's a
Hmm.
religious vigilante. So that is the image that he brings to the table right at upfront.
Hmm.
So using the religious vigilante is not going to use, because that sentiment has already peaked. It has maxed out. You
It's not
have to
going to
use
get
other
any more new
tactics.
votes.
It's not going to get you any new votes. That
Yeah,
agenda is over.
absolutely.
In fact, BJP's religious agenda is almost it's over actually. They had Ram Mandir, they have solved it,
Right,
and
exactly.
that was the biggest thing that they were hoping to give them a dividend that didn't give them.
Hmm.
They have solved it, right?
Hmm. Okay.
So I don't know. Personally speaking, I was again having a discussion with this with my colleagues. Many people are like, I think it is, if you ask my opinion, I think the natural successor, if the BJP at all wants to contest or have some hope in 2029,
Hmm.
it would be to bring Nitin Gadkari to the front. Yeah, again, this is laughable, I know, but then Nitin Gadkari, I think, has the perfect balance of, appeasing, like, he's the perfect centrist, in my opinion, among the BJPs. Like, because let's be very honest, in today's world, the if you want to prosper, you have to be a centrist. You cannot be extreme right, you cannot be extreme left.
Hmm.
So you have to bring a centrist approach,
Yeah.
right?
Okay.
So
Buddha
this
Bhattacharya is asking you a question. Do you think the result has cemented the place of Abhishek?
uh, और क्या सीमेंट करेगा, उसका तो ऐसे ही सीमेंटेड पोजीशन.
Yeah. Now, yeah, yeah. I think there's another extra layer of cement today.
No, it is pointless talking about whether the Abhishek's position is cemented. Abhishek last time also won by 3.5 lakh votes. He has won by 7.5 lakh votes this year. What cement is there here?
Right. Okay. So, wait. Do you have any more time, Dr. Day? Because our frequent guest, a mysterious sociologist who shall remain nameless, is disagreeing with you on one thing on the comment section. I just asked him whether he can also join or not. Okay.
No, actually, I'll be leaving right now. So I've got some work
Okay.
actually. So it
Okay.
was
Okay.
nice catching up with you. I hope
Yeah.
I personally enjoyed the conversation a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was fun. Okay, yeah, it's hilarious that we haven't spoken to each other in about like 6 months, and we finally spoke on a podcast. That's how,
Yeah,
see, modern problems require modern solutions. If you miss your friend, if you're not talking to your friend, just make sure your local party that you both support is losing. Then you'll have an occasion to talk.
no, more than that, have a podcast
Yeah,
channel maybe.
yeah. Okay. What do you think of this idea though? Last before you go, Shivraj
Mamaji
Singh
now has
Chauhan.
Mamaji now has better chance at becoming. Who is Mamaji?
Shivraj Singh Chauhan, the last CM of Madhya
Oh,
Pradesh.
this- Who will see? Why will
Okay.
Shivraj Singh? What credentials does he have? He has no credentials.
Well,
If
he
there is one,
left. He
if
when he
there is one,
left, BJP was at peak in Madhya Pradesh. Therefore,
if there is any person with credentials who can actually claim, or who can be thought of as a successor of Modi, like I said, it has got to be Nitin Gadkari, because Nitin Gadkari has performed phenomenally well in the when it
hmm.
comes to roads and infrastructure. So
Yeah. Okay.
it's better. Other than that,
Hmm.
I think we have discussed everything in this podcast.
Yeah. Okay then, Dr. De, thank you
Chalo,
for
bye.
joining
Bye.
us.
Bye, bye. It
Yeah.
was nice catching
Thank you,
up with you.
everyone. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Bye bye. Thank you, everyone, for
Bye.
joining us. Good night.
श्रवरूढं महाभीमं गुणाद्रष्टाङ्गरप्रदम् हस्य युक्तं त्रिनेत्रं च कपालकर्णिकाकराम् मुक्तकेशीं ललज्जयः पिबन्तीं रुधिरं चतुर्बाहु समायुक्तं वराभयकरं स्मरेत् चतुर्बाहु समायुक्तं वराभयकरं स्मरेत् काली काली महाकाली कालिके पापहारिणी धर्मर्थ मोक्षदे